You keep lying to yourself, don't you? Telling yourself you're fine, that you've got this. But look at you, pathetic, dragging your feet through days that blur together because you're too scared to face the truth. You're weak, and you know it. You've known it for a while now, but you bury it deep. Act like it's not there. But the mirror doesn't lie, does it? You see it every time you catch your own eyes. How they've lost that fire, that edge. You've become soft, dull, harmless. A shadow of what you could have been if you weren't so damn afraid of the pain, of the struggle. You're too busy making excuses, telling yourself that it's just a phase, that you're just tired. But you're not tired. You're terrified. Terrified of failing, of not being enough. That's the real reason you don't try harder. That's why you settle. Why you lower the bar every time you fall short. Pretend it was never that high to begin with. It's pathetic, really. Watching you waste time. Drown in distractions. Just to numb the sting of your own insignificance. You hide behind screens, behind meaningless tasks, anything to escape that silence. The one where your thoughts get too loud, where you can't hide from what you really are. Weak, that's what you are. And all that pretending, all that denial, it won't save you. Because deep down, you know you're running out of time. That every wasted hour is a nail in the coffin of everything you could have been. But you keep running, don't you? Keep pretending like you've got forever to get your act together. Keep lying to yourself because it's easier than doing the work. Easier than facing the pain of growth. But here's the truth you keep dodging. You're running out of time. And if you keep going like this, you're going to end up nothing. Another nobody who talked a big game, but couldn't back it up. Another waste of potential. That's what scares you most, isn't it? Not failure itself, but the idea that this is all you'll ever be. That maybe you never had it in you to begin with. That's why you can't stand silence, why you drown yourself in noise. Because when it's quiet, you can't escape the truth. You're too weak to change, too weak to fight for more. You keep telling yourself you're waiting for the right moment, for things to get better. But they won't. Nothing's going to change. Until you do. You're not stuck because the world's against you. You're stuck because you won't get out of your own way. You've become your own worst enemy. No one's holding you back. but you. No one's stopping you from putting in the work, from facing the pain head on. No one but you. You've built your own cage, convinced yourself the bars are real when they're not. You're the one who decided comfort was enough. You're the one who let fear make your choices. Every time you chose the easy way out, every time you let yourself off the hook, you dug this hole deeper. And now, you're too scared to climb out because it's dark and it's cold, and you've forgotten what the sun even looks like. That's your fault, no one else's. So stop blaming the world. Stop blaming timing. Stop blaming everyone but the coward staring back at you in the mirror. Face it. You're scared of the fight. Scared of the pain. The sacrifice. The grind. You want the results without the suffering. Want the reward without the risk. That's not strength. That's weakness. That's why you'll never make it. Not until you kill that part of yourself that flinches at the first sign of discomfort, that runs back to safety the moment things get hard. You'll stay weak until you learn to embrace the pain, to see it as the cost of greatness. To wear your scars like armor instead of hiding them in shame. You need to stop running from the fire and step into it. Burn away everything soft and scared, until there's nothing left but iron and bone. That's how you get stronger. By bleeding for it. By suffering for it. By turning yourself into a weapon so sharp that even your doubts can't cut you. But you're not ready for that, are you? Not yet. You still want to believe that there's an easier way, that maybe if you wait long enough, the fear will go away on its own. It won't. You're just wasting time. Time you don't have. Every second you spend hesitating is a second you'll never get back. Every excuse you make is another chain around your ankles, weighing you down. You can't afford to wait. Can't afford to waste another day pretending like tomorrow's guaranteed. It's not. You could die a nobody, buried and forgotten. And it'd be no one's fault but your own. That's the truth you keep avoiding. The truth you need to face if you're ever going to change. So stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you're fine. Admit it. You're weak. You're scared. You're not enough. Not yet. But you could be. If you're willing to bleed for it, to suffer for it, to break yourself down and build something harder, something ruthless, something unbreakable. That's the only way out. Pain, sacrifice, work, anything less, and you're just delaying the inevitable, dying with regrets, drowning in everything you could have been but were too scared to become. You've wasted enough time. Stop being a coward. Stop being weak. Pick yourself up and fight, or accept that this is it. That you're nothing, and you always will be. The choice is yours. But you better make it fast, because the clock's ticking. And every second you spend hesitating is another second closer to the grave. You keep waiting for some kind of sign, don't you? Some miracle to snap you out of this mess you've made, to drag you out of the hole you keep digging for yourself. But there's nothing coming. No rescue. No redemption. Just the same days, on repeat, until you're too old or too broken to change. And deep down, you know it. You know that if you don't do something soon, you'll be stuck like this forever. Half alive, half asleep. Pretending like you got time to burn when every second is another step closer to the end. That's what scares you most, isn't it? Not the pain, not the struggle, but the idea that you'll die without ever becoming anything. That you'll rot away in mediocrity. Because you were too weak to fight for more. And the worst part is, you can't even blame anyone else. You did this. You chose comfort over courage, excuses over effort. Every time you let yourself off the hook, every time you said, tomorrow, instead of today, you made this your reality. So stop acting like a victim. Stop pretending like you've got no control. You made this bed, and now you're choking on the sheets, smothered by your own cowardice. And you've got no one to blame but yourself. It's almost laughable, really, how hard you work to convince yourself that everything's fine when it's not. You pile distractions on top of distractions, bury yourself in noise just to drown out that little voice in the back of your mind that keeps saying the same thing. You're wasting time. You're wasting your life. You're too weak to change. Too weak to break the cycle. And the more you run from it, the louder it gets. You try to silence it with empty victories, with meaningless tasks that make you feel productive without actually moving you forward. But you can't fool yourself forever. Sooner or later, you're going to have to face it. The fact that you're not enough, that you're not even close. That everything you've done so far is nothing compared to what you could have done if you just stop being such a coward. If you just embrace the pain instead of avoiding it. But you won't, will you? Because that would mean admitting you've been wrong this whole time. That all those excuses, all those lies you told yourself were just that. Lies. And your pride won't let you do that, will it? You'd rather keep pretending. Keep stumbling forward with your eyes shut tight, praying you'll somehow end up somewhere better by accident. But that's not how it works. You don't get stronger by avoiding pain. You get stronger by embracing it. By breaking yourself down and building something harder in its place. Every scar, every failure, every wound that doesn't kill you makes you sharper, deadlier. But you're too afraid to bleed, too afraid to suffer. You've wrapped yourself in so many layers of comfort that you've forgotten what it feels like to hurt, to struggle, to fight for something real. That's why you're weak. Because you've never truly been tested, never pushed yourself to the breaking point and then kept going. You talk a big game, pretend like you're ready for the storm. But the truth is, you're soft. One good hit would shatter you, and you know it. That's why you hide, why you hesitate, why you flinch every time things get hard. Because you know that beneath all the bluster, you're just a scared little boy, playing dress up, pretending to be something more. It's pathetic, really, watching you fake your way through life, hoping no one notices how hollow you've become. You've built this image, this mask, but it's paper thin, cracking at the edges, and sooner or later it's going to fall apart. And then what? Then everyone's going to see you for what you really are, a failure. A waste of potential. A coward who never even tried. And maybe that's what you deserve. Maybe that's the fate you've earned with every excuse. Every wasted day. Every time you chose the easy way out, instead of stepping into the fire. Maybe that's why you're so scared. Because deep down, you know it's true. You know that you've wasted too much time to turn things around. That you've built too many walls to ever break them down. But even that's just another excuse, isn't it? Another lie to keep yourself from trying. To justify staying exactly where you are. Safe. Comfortable. Weak. You can't keep running forever. Sooner or later, you're going to have to choose. Suffer or settle. Burn or fade away. And the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. Every day you delay, every second you waste, the hole gets deeper, the walls get higher. You're not just running out of time, you're running out of chances. And once they're gone, that's it. No do-overs, no second tries. You get one shot at this, and you're throwing it away because you're too scared to bleed for it. That's the truth you can't handle. That you're not failing because you're unlucky or cursed or whatever lie you tell yourself to sleep at night. You're failing because you're too weak to succeed. Too weak to put in the work, to embrace the pain, to do whatever it takes no matter how much it hurts. That's why you'll never make it, because deep down, you don't really want it. Not enough to suffer for it. Not enough to earn it. And that's the worst part, isn't it? Knowing that you're the problem. That every time you look in the mirror, you're staring at the reason you'll never be enough. You're the chains around your own wrists. The cage around your own mind. You're the reason you're stuck. And until you can admit that, until you can own it, you're never going to change. You're never going to be anything but weak. So stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending like you've got time, like you've got a choice. You don't. It's now or never. Fight or fade away. Burn or rot. That's it. So make a choice and live with it. Or don't. Keep lying to yourself. Keep hiding behind excuses and distractions. Keep pretending like everything's fine while your life slips through your fingers. Just know this. If you die a nobody, if you waste everything you could have been, it won't be because the world was unfair, or because you didn't have a chance. It'll be because you were too weak to take it. That's the truth you can't handle, isn't it? That this is your fault. That you're not the victim. You're the villain. That every time you chose comfort over courage, every time you chose excuses over effort, you killed a piece of what you could have been. You did this. No one else. And the only way out is through the fire. The pain, the struggle, the grind. So either step into the flames and burn away everything weak, or stay where you are and rot. But don't you dare keep lying to yourself. Don't you dare pretend you've got more time. The clock's ticking, and it doesn't care about your excuses. So make a choice, stay weak, or suffer for strength. Because one way or another, time is going to run out. And when it does, all that's left is what you built or what you wasted. So stop hiding, stop running, burn or fade away. Those are your only options. Choose. You keep thinking you're different, that somehow you'll figure it out before it's too late. But that's just another lie you tell yourself to make the days go by easier. You're not different. You're just like the rest of them. Scared, weak, pretending like you've got it all under control when you're barely holding it together. You talk about dreams, about all these things you're gonna do one day, but you don't even believe it yourself. If you did, you'd already be doing something about it. But you're not. You're just sitting there, letting the days slip by, making the same tired excuses, telling yourself that tomorrow will be different. It won't. Tomorrow's gonna be just like today. And the day after that, until you wake up one morning and realize that you're out of tomorrows, that you've wasted every chance you ever had, and there's no one left to blame but yourself. That's the truth you keep hiding from. That no one's coming to save you, that no one cares if you make it or not. You're alone in this, and every day you waste is another nail in the coffin of everything you could have been. But you won't admit that, will you? You'd rather keep pretending, keep lying to yourself because the truth hurts too much. You've built this whole world inside your head where you're still the hero, still destined for something great. But it's all falling apart. The cracks are showing and you're too weak to hold it together. That's why you drown yourself in distractions. Why you bury yourself in anything that numbs the sting of reality. Because you can't handle the silence. Can't handle facing what you've become. You're afraid to be alone with your thoughts because they won't pull punches, won't tell you pretty lies to make you feel better. They'll tell you the truth, that you're a coward, that you're wasting your life, that you're running out of time to become anything more than a footnote, another nameless face who never did anything worth remembering. And that terrifies you, doesn't it? Not just dying, but dying a nobody. Dying without ever mattering. That's what keeps you up at night. The fear that all this pain, all this emptiness, will be for nothing. But you're doing it to yourself. No one's making you waste time. No one's making you settle. Every time you choose comfort over courage, every time you put things off until tomorrow, you're digging your own grave. You're the one locking the chains, building the walls, turning your life into a prison, one excuse at a time. And the worst part is, you know it. You know that all this pretending, all this hiding, is just delaying the inevitable. That sooner or later you're going to have to face it. You're going to have to look in the mirror and see what you really are. Weak, scared, alone. But instead of dealing with it, instead of breaking the chains, you keep piling them on, hoping that if you build enough walls, you won't have to see how far you've fallen. But that's not strength. That's cowardice. Real strength isn't pretending you're fine when you're falling apart. It's admitting you're broken and doing whatever it takes to put yourself back together. But you're too scared to break. You're too scared to hurt. That's the real problem, isn't it? You want the glory without the pain, the reward without the sacrifice. You want to be strong without ever bleeding for it, without ever facing the darkness inside your own head. But that's not how it works. Strength is forged in suffering, built in darkness, hammered out of pain and blood and sweat. You don't get it by avoiding the fire. You get it by walking straight into it, by letting it burn away everything soft, everything scared, everything that flinches at the first sign of discomfort. You get it by facing your fears, by embracing the struggle, by becoming something ruthless, something unbreakable. But you're too afraid to burn. You're too afraid to hurt, to bleed, to suffer. That's why you're stuck. That's why you'll stay stuck until you either grow a spine or rot away completely. And maybe that's what you deserve. Maybe weakness is all you'll ever be. Maybe you'll waste your whole life pretending, making excuses, hiding from anything that hurts, until there's nothing left but regrets and broken dreams. Maybe you'll die. Nobody. Forgotten and alone. Buried beneath all the lies you told yourself to make it through the day. But if that's the fate you want, then stop complaining. Stop pretending like you want more when you're not willing to suffer for it. Stop acting like a victim when you're the one holding the knife, cutting your own throat, one wasted hour at a time. Either accept that you're weak and live with it, or do something about it. Stop making excuses. Stop running. You've wasted enough time already, burned through enough chances to fill a dozen lives. There are no more second chances, no more tomorrows to hide behind. It's now or never. Fight or fade away. So make a choice. Suffer or settle. Burn or rot. But don't keep lying to yourself. Don't keep pretending like you've got time, like you're just waiting for the right moment. There is no right moment. There's just now. The pain, the struggle, the fight. And if you're too weak to face it, then accept that you're nothing and always will be. Accept that you're going to die a nobody. That you're never going to be enough. That you're never going to matter. But if that's not enough for you. If you can't live with that, then stop running. Stop hiding. Bleed for it. Suffer for it. Burn everything weak and scared and small until there's nothing left but iron and scars. That's the only way out. Pain, sacrifice, work. Anything less and you're just delaying the inevitable. Rotting away, drowning in regrets, haunted by everything you could have been if you weren't so damn afraid to hurt. So make a choice and live with it. But don't keep pretending. Don't keep lying to yourself. Either embrace the pain and become something more, or accept that you're too weak to ever be anything but a shadow of what you could have been. That's it. Those are your options. Suffer or rot. Fight or fade away. Burn or die cold and alone. Buried beneath all the chances you let slip by. The clock's ticking, and it's not waiting for you to make up your mind. So stop wasting time. Stop pretending like you've got forever to get your act together. You don't. You've got now. This moment. This choice. And if you don't make it soon, then all those fears you keep running from, all those nightmares about dying a nobody, they're going to come true. And there won't be anyone left to blame but yourself. So stop running. Stop lying. Choose. Fight or fade away. Burn or rot. But do it now. Because every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. A second closer to the grave. And once you're there, it's over. No second chances. No do-overs. Just darkness and regret. And everything you could have been but were too weak to become. That's the truth. That's the choice. So what's it going to be?